Hi everyone, welcome to the Patient Wallet channel. The market is bleeding, your portfolio is red, and every headline says the sky is falling. But while most people are panicking, the world's greatest investors are doing something completely different. They are getting excited. Today I am sharing my top 5 investing quotes that will not only save your sanity during this dip, but I am going to explain and provide examples of how I apply these quotes during my investment journey to hopefully help you in your journey as well. So let's jump straight into the video. The fear and greed index sits at the extreme fear end, and the year-to-date return of the big names in the S&P 500 are well into the negative territories, and the S&P year-to-date performance is a negative 5.22%. As you'd expect, my portfolio year-to-date return is also down 12.6%. So let's look at my top 5 investing quotes that keep me invested. And quote number 1, buy when there is blood in the streets, even if the blood is your own. This is one of my favorite quotes, and the reason is very simple. It helped me make my best trade ever. And let me show you how. If you are following the channel, you should know that I recently started rebuying Meta platforms. I currently own 9 shares of Meta platforms, but this is not the first time that I invested in Meta. Back in September 2021, I started buying Meta. I bought multiple times and kept buying to November 2022. During that time, Meta stock fell by 75%, so it's fair to say that there was blood in the street, and as I was invested in Meta, obviously my position was going down as well. But given that I was comfortable on the company's fundamentals, I kept buying, and as a result, this was my best trade ever and the investment that made me the most amount of money simply because I was buying when there was blood in the street. I sold some of my Meta shares in May 2023 for a total gain of £715, and then my second sale was a total gain of £4,724. You can say that the first sale was a mistake, but overall this was my best trade and made a pretty decent profit. Quote number 2 is be fearful when others are greedy and greedy when others are fearful. I showed at the beginning of the video that the fear and greed index is at extreme fear. And personally, what I have been doing is buying high quality businesses that I think will compound well into the future. The market is in the extreme fear, and personally, I'm doubling down on the companies that I think have a bright future ahead of them. Quote number 3 is the big money is not in the buying and the selling, but in the waiting. This is something that I think is one of the most difficult things to do in investing, which is do nothing most of the time. If we go back to my example of Meta platforms, you'll see that my first trade was selling 12 shares of Meta platforms for a gain of £716, and my second trade was selling 13 shares. The only difference is the total gain was £4,724. If I did nothing and kept the full amount of shares that I accumulated in Meta during the dip where the stock price declined by more than 75%, my total gain would have been well over £8,000. So one of the things that I need to work on is basically do nothing in most of the cases. As long as you've done your research up front and you're investing in high quality companies, you have to then be able to do absolutely nothing and give them enough time to compound over time, as in my opinion, that's the best thing to do. Next quote is volatility is the price of admission. The price inside are superior long-term returns. This is basically something that I see a lot of investors getting wrong, which is they don't like volatility. If you are from a traditional background of economics or finance degrees, volatility is also classified as a risk. Even though that makes sense, in my opinion, if you're going through a stage of building your portfolio, which is the stage I'm currently going through, volatility is my friend. And the reason is, in high volatility environments, usually there are opportunities to acquire these high quality companies at attractive prices. Obviously, if you're closer to retirement, volatility is not your friend. However, you should be adjusting your portfolio to factor in that volatility is not your friend. On the other hand, if you are young and you are building up your portfolio, volatility is your friend, and you should basically accept that that's the only price you have to pay to participate in investing which is the best way to help you reach your financial goals. Volatility is basically a small price, in my eyes, that you have to pay in order to achieve long-term financial freedom. Also, if you don't know who Morgan Housel is, I highly recommend his book, The Psychology of Money, because it helped me a lot when I was starting my investing journey. And the last quote comes from Peter Lynch, a legendary investor. More money has been lost trying to anticipate and protect from corrections than actually be in them. And let me give you another example of my experience on this in the past. Back in 2022, I bought 2 shares of Netflix and I bought another 2 shares of Netflix in March 2023. During that period, the stock price fell by more than 64% and I bought 2 more shares somewhere around here and the stock was down 44%. And later on, in December 2024, I sold the 4 shares for a gain of £1,839, which is more than doubling my money. Now think, what would happen if I was sitting in the sidelines and I was waiting for a correction to happen? Maybe I would have never made the opportunity to basically invest in Netflix, and even though the stock was down 60+% from their highs to their lows, I was able to invest in Netflix, stomach the stock price fall, and even buy or double my position, and then later on exited, doubling my money. Obviously, we have similar situations that we are currently going through. And as you can see, I restarted investing back in July 2025. And so far my portfolio sits at £29,000 with a return of a negative 3.33%. But as you can see, I'm not sitting in the sidelines expecting a correction to happen. I started investing in these companies because I'm confident that these are high quality companies that will compound well into the future. And when I look in the mirror, I know that I cannot time the market perfectly. So my approach is research and identify high quality companies and invest in them. Over time, if I see these high quality businesses being offered from Mr. Market at attractive prices, I buy more. And corrections or not, given that I'm in the stage of building my portfolio, I'm confident to own these companies, and if they drop, I will be adding some more. That's it for this episode. Let me know which is your favorite investing code in the comments below, and give this video a thumbs up if you like this type of content, as I am planning to do a part 2, and it's good to know if you enjoy this kind of videos. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.